Hey everyone, it's Leah and welcome back. So today I thought that I would sit down and tell you guys 10 things that annoy me about working in hospitality, slash 10 things that people do that annoy me about working in hospitality. I've been working in my job, which is at a bar slash restaurant, for about a year and 2 months now, and I feel like I've picked up on a lot of things that people do that annoy the shit out of me. So I thought that I'd share them with you guys today, and hopefully anyone out there who's watching this video who works in hospitality or even sometimes retail, then you can relate to me in some way. So yeah, without further ado, let's just get straight into this video. So the first thing that I've picked up on working in hospo is when I go to table check a table and ask them how their meals are going, and ask them how their food is and if there's anything else I can do for them. And people, 9 out of 10 you just say it's really good, they've already pretty much halfway through their meal and they're really enjoying it, so I say all good, I walk away. And then when they come to pay, there's two things to this. Either when they come to pay and I ask them how their meals were while they're paying and they go, oh, it was alright, and I was like, I just asked you beforehand if your meals were okay and you said yes, but then when you come to pay you complain about it. Like, if it was actually an issue, you should have told me when I came to table check you, and I could have done something about your meal, could have replaced it, I could have given you a free dessert or something just to make you feel better. But instead you eat it all and then you come to pay and you say it was gross, or something was bad about it. That really pisses me off. And also another thing is, once I table check a table and everyone says it's all good, then maybe like 10-15 minutes later when I go to clear all the plates, someone leaves something, or I don't know, they eat it all, but then when I clear it and I go, how was the meals, guys? They go, oh yeah, it was alright. The pork belly was a little fatty, or like, I didn't like the potato. And it's like, you could have told me that when I came to ask you how your meals were, and then again I could have replaced it or given you something else, just to make you feel better about what you're eating, and just to make sure that you feel good about the environment that you're in, and all that kind of thing. It just pisses me off when people complain once I've already asked them how their meals were. Like, just tell me straight up when I come to ask you, because then it will save a lot of hassle in the future. The second thing that annoys me is when I ask to clear someone's plate and they say, yeah, that's fine, and then I go to clear it and then they say, no, I'm not finished. And it's like, you just said that you were finished and that I could clear it, and then you get real snappy and you say I can't. I had an incident with this with a customer about 2 weeks back, and two ladies were, they weren't intoxicated, but they had a couple of wines and they were a bit like, not really all there, I guess. They were just having a chat between them two, and they had like a platter, so it comes with like fries, calamari, hot dogs, chips, and they were like pretty much finished with it. Like, I'm telling you, there was about 3 chips left and maybe 1 samosa, and I asked them like, I think it was only one lady was at the table and the other one was in the bathroom, and I asked her like, oh, are you finished with this plate, can I clear it? Because they were on quite a small table and the platter it wasn't that big, but it was taking up a lot of room. So I asked if I could clear it for them to make some more room for them to talk and to like fit more drinks on the table and all that. And the lady goes, yeah, that's fine, you can take it. So I take it, and then 5 minutes later when the lady comes back from the bathroom, she got mad because I had taken the plate, and the other lady gets mad too. So they both go to complain to the barman and asks to order another platter because I had taken the platter away from them that they were still eating. And I was like, excuse me, I had just asked the lady if she'd finished with it, and she said, yes, that's fine. And if it was actually a problem and she didn't actually know, she should have waited for her friend to come back to see if she was finished with it. But then when I gave them their new platter about 5-10 minutes later, I was like, did you guys order a platter? And they're like, yeah. And I could tell they were like shying away from me because they knew that they were in the wrong. And I said to the lady, oh, you told me that you'd finished with this platter and then you went to go order another one. And I said it in a really, really nice way because I didn't want to come off as being a bitch. And she said, oh no, it's fine, don't worry about it. And I was like, no, it's not fine, because you're making me look like a bad waitress when really I was just doing my job, and then you go complain and say that I took away your food when there was literally 3 chips left. Like, that just pisses me off. And then they got a whole new free platter, and then they didn't even finish half of it, or even like 3/4 of it. Like, they'd picked at a few things, and I was like, that just annoys me, you know, like just think before you speak. The third thing that annoys me about working in hospo is I usually do 1 day shift a week, so from like 10:30 to 5 usually, and it's just me and then my boss. And I'm usually just running the floor by myself, making drinks, running food, serving customers, all of that kind of thing. And it annoys me when I'm making drinks for someone, because usually my boss is upstairs in her office and I'm making drinks for a table, and then a group of people or a couple walk in and just sit down and expect me to go and see them, which is sometimes how places work, but it's quite nice and, you know, respectful if you come to the bar and you say, hey, I've got a group of 6 of us in for lunch, are we able to get a table? Is there anywhere we can sit in particular? And then I'll be like, oh yeah, you know, there's a few booths over there, or you can go sit outside, and I'll bring some menus and water over. But instead they just go and sit down either outside where I can't see them, or out in a corner somewhere, and then they come over like 10 minutes later and they're like, hey, we've been sitting here and we haven't got any menus or drinks. And it's like, I didn't actually see you walk in firstly, and secondly, it would be nice if you came over and greeted me, because I'm busy and I can't actually, you know, sometimes see when people come in through the door. And it'd be nice if you could come over and say, hey, I'm in for lunch, am I able to grab a seat? Instead of just sitting down wherever you want and just expect me to, you know, come over and give you menus. Sometimes I just find that really rude. So yeah, that is the third thing that annoys me about working in hospo. The fourth thing that annoys me about working in hospo is when people call on the night that they want to come in and they ask for a massive booking of people. Like, what goes through your mind? At my work, Tuesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and then sometimes Sundays are usually really busy, because Tuesdays we've got 2 who are mains, Fridays we have a band on, and you know, everyone's finished work and they usually come down for a bite to eat and a drink. Saturdays is usually busy because it's the weekend. Sunday we've got a quiz on, so there are only like 2 days out of the week that we're not really that busy. Just depends on, you know, how many people come in and all that, but usually in the weekends we are really busy. And when people call up at like between 3 and 5 o'clock and they're like, hey, can we have a booking, like can we book a table for tonight? And it's like, are you kidding me? You should have booked in advance firstly. And they go, oh yeah, can I have it for 10 people? And it's like, no, we're not gonna have any space for 10 people on the night, and you wanna come in like half an hour. And then they get mad at me and they start complaining, and they're like, oh, well, why don't you have any room? Can we come in like 30 minutes? Will there be a table then and stuff? And I'm like, no, there won't be a table. Why would you call like 30 minutes before you want to come in for a massive group of people? It just doesn't make sense. The fifth thing that annoys me about working in hospo is when people sit outside, usually in winter because it gets really cold. We've got like a little like roof thing that goes over our outdoor area, but there are some bits where like wind and rain and stuff can come in. When people go and sit outside in the freezing cold because they want to smoke, and then we bring their food out and they start eating it, but then they complain because their food is cold and they want a new meal. Okay, we don't give out cold food. I don't know what restaurant would give out cold food unless it was specifically meant to be cold. But we have one of those like heater things that you put the food under, so when you're waiting for like another plate to come up, you can just keep that one there for it to get hot, and then when another plate comes up, you can take both of them. So we always take our food out hot, like it's never cold. And when we take it to people who are sitting outside and then they complain that their food is cold, it's not because we gave it to them cold, it's because they're sitting out in the freezing cold because they want to have a cigarette. Go inside and eat it. Like, I don't understand. Or they'll be chatting outside for ages and they will expect their food not to get cold, and it's like, obviously your food is going to get cold because you're sitting outside. Just people like that piss me off so much. The sixth thing that annoys me is when people stand in the way of the bar and I'm trying to take drinks from the bar, or I'm trying to take food, which in my workplace, you take the food from the kitchen, like from the pass, and then you walk past the bar to all the tables. And people who line up, but they line up, like if the bar's here and there are bars here, tables here, and you've got to go through this little bit here, if they just line up like this way, so they're blocking everyone out. Just line up like on the side so that you're not on the way firstly. And I hate it when I go like, excuse me, I'm trying to get past and I've got like, you know, 3 plates of food that I'm trying to carry, and people just don't move, or they look at you like really rudely, and it's like, I'm trying to carry some plates here and you're in the way. This is not like a safe zone for you to stand in just because you want a fucking cocktail. Like, relax. It pisses me off when people like just stand in the way and you say like, excuse me, and they move like half a foot to their left. Like, just move the fuck out the way so I can get through. That pisses me off so much. It happens all the time, especially on the weekends. The 8th thing that pisses me off so much, like I can't even deal, is when there's a group of kids and adults, and then when they leave their kids' mess. Like, it's fucking atrocious. Adults, like, have some respect, like clean up after your kids. Like, we're obviously there to clean up after like your mess, but when kids leave like pencil sharpenings, their pencils, their crayons, the colouring books like all over the floor and all over the table, you leave their like baby food and like their dirty wipes that they use on their face or on their hands like scattered all over the table, like when their kids throw chips and shit everywhere. That is disgusting. Like, clean up after your kids. Like, adults, have some respect, you know? Like, I'm obviously there to clean up, you know, your cups and your plates and to wipe the table down, but I'm not there to fucking clean up after your kids. Like, make them put their books away, make them put their crayons away to back where they found it. Like, if they throw chips and their food everywhere, like, tell them off and tell them to pick it up. Like, what the fuck are you doing with your kids? I don't understand that. The 9th thing, I think I'm up to the 9th thing that pisses me off is when regulars, like, I love regulars, you know, locals, I love like chatting to them, and obviously I know them on more of like a personal level compared to some customers, but when they just like use you, because obviously like you know each other on a personal level, they like use you all the time. They like click their fingers at you and they go like, hey, get me a drink, and I'm like, well, I'm kind of busy, I'm trying to serve customers, but they expect you to like go out of your way for them. And it's like, obviously I would, because, you know, like, I actually really do like looking after customers at work, but when people just expect you to do things, like I'm not a fucking robot, and I don't have like 7 billion hands to do so many things at once. Like, I remember one time I was taking someone's order and a regular just like goes, Leah, you know, get me a pint of, I don't know, beer or something. And I'm like, yeah, just give me 2 seconds, like I'm trying to talk to some customers. And then he got really, really mad at me. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm trying to serve some customers. Once I've served them, then I can come to you and get your order of beer. Like, don't expect me just because I know you on a personal level, just to fucking click my fingers and drop everything that I'm doing to fucking serve you. Like, calm the fuck down. And I think I'm up to the 10th thing, or the last thing that annoys me, is when adults act like they're in their fucking teenage years. We had an incident at work once where this lady was like really intoxicated. Like, she couldn't even carry her fucking drink, she was spilling her beer everywhere, she couldn't even make conversation. So I just stopped serving her and I was like, you can have some water, have some food. Once you sober up a little bit, then, you know, we could look at maybe giving you a light sav, or, you know, like a light beer. But her friend came up to the bar and was like, hey, can we get 2 shots of tequila? And I was like, yeah, sure, only if they're for you and not for your friend. And she's like, okay, like, they're for me. And I was like, well, to show that they're going to be for you, you have to drink them at the bar, because if you go away and you give it to your friend, then that's just fucking rude, because I've already told your friend that she can't have any more drinks. And she goes, yeah, okay. So she has one of the tequila shots, you know, does the whole salt thing, the lemon thing, drinks it, that's fine. And then she starts looking away, and her friend, they just start giggling like they're fucking 12 years old. And then the friend, who is intoxicated, runs away to another table. The other friend runs away with a shot. They hide in a corner and the drunk friend takes the shot. How old are you? Did you really need that one shot of fucking tequila? Like, do you think you're 18 again? No, you're a fucking grown woman who's got kids. Like, I know you want to have fun, but fucking respect the people that are serving you alcohol and food all night. Like, we aren't, like, we're people too, you know? Like, we're trying to do our jobs, we're trying to make sure you're safe. We don't want to get caught up by the police. We don't want to lose our license. Like, there are so many things behind the scenes that people don't know. And it's like, just have some fucking respect. Like, if we say you can't have that drink, then don't have the fucking drink. And they run away to a table to take it, and then we're just like, no, get the fuck out, because if you're not going to respect our rules, then leave, you know? Like, I just don't get when grown women just get so drunk and they just think they can do whatever the fuck they want because they're fucking old. Like, no. Have some respect. Like, all of this is about respect. Like, people who work in hospital, we are people too. The same as you, you know, like, treat us the way you would want to be treated. That's what I like to say. Like, that's kind of like my motto. When I'm in hospital, I just go out of my way for everyone because I want everyone to have a really good experience, and I want people to come back, and I want to be seen as like a really good waitress, and you know, all of that kind of thing. But when people just fucking get at you and they just make you feel like you're just like belittled, I don't know if that's a word, like they just make you feel like you're like this fucking small, fucking hate people like that. Like honestly, this is gonna be the biggest rant ever, because I've worked in hospital for like a year, as I said, like a year and 2 months now, and over that time I've just learned so much, and I love serving people and I love helping people, but it comes to a point where you're like, fuck off. Like I could swear at you so much right now, but I don't want to lose my job, obviously. So yeah, I guess that's basically all I've got to say about working in hospo. I love working in hospo, I love coming to work, but there are just some people who make it so difficult for me to keep a smile on my face. So if you guys can relate at all to any of the things that annoyed me or still annoys me about working in hospo, then leave them down below and tell me anything that I might have missed out, because I swear there's so many that things that could annoy people about working in hospo. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a massive thumbs up. If you enjoyed something a little bit different, sort of like a talky, ranty sort of video, and don't forget to subscribe if you guys aren't subscribed already. And yeah, until my next video, I really hope you guys have an awesome day, and I will see you all very soon. Bye! So that is the end of my rant video, 10 things that annoy me about working in hospitality. If you guys have anything else that you want to add or share with me about working in hospo, then leave them in the comments down below, and I'd love to see if I missed out on anything and see if I can relate too. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a massive thumbs up and subscribe if you guys aren't subscribed already. Subscribing is free, and it just means that you get notified every time I put up a new video. And the button is just down below. Until my next video, I really hope you guys have an awesome day, and I will see you very soon. Bye!